For Complex News, I'm Pierce Simpson here in Los Angeles, California at UrbanTech Connect, the event that is just pretty much all for entrepreneurs in the investment world. Chamillionaire, you're well decorated in this field of venture capitalism. Matt, you just retired from the NBA, so I know you're looking at those types of things. Has entrepreneurial type things been a part of your DNA throughout your life?
Everything I did in the music industry was training for something bigger, like learning how to, sell mixtapes out the trunk, evolved into learning how to, negotiate with record companies, and then learning how to talk to lawyers, learning how to hire people. And I felt like all of these skills were preparing me for what was next, which is now.
Matt, you played well over a decade in the NBA. You've had a lot of famous teammates, a lot of Hall of Famers and legendary players, but those players sometimes have trouble transitioning outside of basketball. It seems like you were very focused on making your second act just as good as your first act. What kind of gave you the bug to try and look at investments and be an entrepreneur?
The NBA was a tremendous platform. I got to play with a lot of amazing players and had CEO and owners of Disney and everyone in the world watching us. And then once I really started turning toward business about year 10 in the NBA, I started realizing, utilizing these connections and these people I've met. Luckily, after we won a championship last summer with the Warriors, a few business things started rolling in place, and it was a smooth transition for me to finally retire, spend more time with my kids, but then attack my next chapter in life, which is business.
Got him out right. Ronald Johnson. Ronald, you're doing big things. How did you first get bit by the bug when it comes to technology? And
I have an uncle who made a lot of money during that dot-com boom in the 90s. So that kind of piqued my interest then. And then just kind of seeing guys like Steve Jobs, growing up watching them, Steve Gates. I remember I was in the class I was in when we were watching a documentary on these guys, and I was like, man, I got to get into tech.
When you're looking to invest in something, what are some of the things that you look for and you're like, okay, this is appealing, I can link with this?
Well, I don't have an exact thesis of companies that I only invest in, but I do try to find companies that I believe are getting funded by, top tier VCs. Right. Companies that I believe are led by founders that understand the problem they're trying to solve better than anybody. Because a lot of times as investors, we got an opinion about what a company should do to be successful, but at the end of the day, you're betting on somebody to go out there and solve a problem. When I first started off, it was just me, and then it just extended to a lot of other people. Big Boy from Outkast, Trey Songz, E40, Meta World Peace, Larry Sanders. All these people are all investing with us now, so it's awesome,
Are there any other industries that you're looking to kind of tap into?
I'm a cannabis advocate, so I'm doing a lot of work with that and starting to invest in that field. From the VC side, we have the next Airbnb for camping, so to speak.
Right, you mentioned being an advocate for cannabis. We saw that your full-length interview with Bleacher Report where you talked about your experiences of using it both for medication and just growing up. Did that help shape your perception of this isn't such a bad thing and I can make money off of it going forward?
Yeah, it's crazy to think now that, I was being fined by the NBA for it and getting in trouble, and now I'm getting paid to smoke it, which is a crazy sense. But I knew that, smoking weed brought me peace, So I love the fact that there's research to be able to back up, what I knew when I was 14 and that got me through high school, that got me through college, that got me through a full NBA career, and now there's medical research behind it, which is exciting. And like I said, the old additive is knowledge, it's research.
That love and passion for tech and watching some of the icons, like you mentioned, transition to you having your own business that kind of revolves around the cannabis industry. How did you get involved in that? Can you tell our viewers what it's about?
I spent a good amount of time as a cultivator growing. It took a lot of years to get it right. Essentially, I built something I wish I had while I was going through the process. So I kind of married my love for the cultivation piece in tech and came out with growlens.com, which basically is a software that helps growers stay compliant and produce a high quality product with data.
There's not a lot of people of color in the cannabis industry doing things, and there's been a lot of criticism, and rightfully so, that those people of color aren't in powerful positions. Do you feel like your business and your endeavors can change those things?
A lot of people of color, we're kind of, we got our hands smacked pretty hard when it came to, cannabis. We got sent to prison, hauled off, so a lot of us were kind of scared. But LA is doing some great things with the social equity program that's giving people of color a shot. And I hope to be able to hire people of color in my business. We bring a lot of knowledge and expertise. So I absolutely hope I could change and bring more people of color to the cannabis space.
A lot of people know you from your first act, whether it's music or sports. At what point in time in your career do you say, okay, I need to make additional revenue stream?
I feel like I was doing that the whole way. Right. I was frustrated with the power structure within the music industry, and I saw a lot of the artists not having money. I always felt like it was two things. It was information and relationships. We just didn't have the information, and because somebody else always held that information, it put us at a disadvantage. So I focused on trying to get the information. And I felt like that would always help me along the way on this journey to whatever it is. People look at rappers and they say, oh man, it's just a rapper, you know, all he does is stand on the stage and make people wave their hands. Being successful as a rapper for a long time means having your finger on the pulse of the next generation, the millennial generation. You have to know what's cool, what's coming out, what new car is coming out. Think about an artist like Jay-Z and how he's been able to stay in this game for so long is because he's been able to understand people, and that is a value. So that whole thing of discrediting a rapper and throw them away, no, that's actually very valuable, actually. The reason why I walk into venture capital firms looking just how I look is to normalize this, you know? They're gonna tell you that that's cool, but it's like, nah, this is cool, and I have that confidence when I walk in the rooms.
How does it feel to have an event like this come to this part of town where you have people that wouldn't have the opportunity to showcase their talents are able to showcase it?
It's beautiful, man. It's like a dream. You used to think you had to go to Silicon Valley or the Bay Area to get this type of vibe, but I've always been passionate about technology, so to see it here in LA where I grew up is awesome.
What's next for you two? What are your goals?
My goal is to just be a founder of a company. I launched a company called Convos, a social video app, and our goal is to connect people across the world through face-to-face conversations. I know I could fail, but at the end of the day, somebody's got to try, because I think there are problems out there that need to be solved. You look at social media and all of the abusive conversations that happen and the trolling, and I know there are plenty of people trying to attack it, but I sit from the lens of somebody that's actually dealt with all these social platforms for so long, and I always thought that somebody was going to come and create a product that solved this for me, but I never saw that.
My goal is to continue to, I think, speak for those who don't have a voice. Like I said, I'm in tech, I'm in oil, I'm in a lot of different things, so I have money. I'm going to be having money coming in, so my real passion is TV and film. So I want to go the Tyler Perry route and, own my own studios.